Hey guys, Chrissy here. I'm out with the puppers. Other guys back there. And we're out just kind of meandering and looking for some shagbark hickory nuts. Or I think they call them scale bark or shell bark. Yeah, shell bark. Some folks call them that, but I call them shagbark hickory nuts. And I thought I'd take you along because in a couple of weeks they're really going to be hitting the ground and it's going to be peak season to be picking those things up and enjoying them. I think shagbark hickory nuts, in my opinion, are one of the best places to get started with wild edibles, foraging for wild edibles. They're pretty straightforward, relatively easy to ID, and they taste really good. And if you prep them the right way, which is really easy, don't get discouraged, they'll keep for a long time. I'm going to show you some when we get back to the house that I've had for at least 2 years in storage. So yeah, if you're interested in getting started in foraging for wild edibles, stick with me. We're going to get it done. Alrighty guys, so I'm just at the base of a shagbark hickory nut tree. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a second. And I've just kind of raked everything in. And I'm going to show you what you're looking for here. So first of all, this is the nut. This is what you're looking for. Well, I guess it's, if you want to get down to semantics, I think this is technically like a fruit and the inside is the nut. But for all intents and purposes, this is the shagbark hickory nut that you're looking for. See, 4 clearly distinguishable quadrants. And usually they break away pretty easy when they're ripe. These may have gotten knocked off a little early. We can always take this home and whack it with a hammer and get to the inside. Same with this guy. Oh, no, it came apart pretty easy. This is what you're looking for. This is the prize. Just give it a quick little look over. No holes. And we're going to throw it in the bucket. Now, a lot of times, especially in a couple weeks when you're out looking, you're going to see a lot of these, the little nut on the inside of the husk. You're just going to see them on the ground. And it's going to be hard to distinguish if they're last year's or this year's nut. So I would just throw them all in the bucket. I'm going to show you how to kind of sort them out in a minute. But if you don't and you kind of want to screen them, pre-screen them if you don't want to bring a bunch home, kind of fill them in your hand. If they feel really light, just discard them. It means the nut meat inside is probably dried up. But anyway, we're going to throw this in the bucket and we're going to take it home. Okay. Now, like this guy, I don't know if this is last year's or not. Oh, see, it's got a hole in it. That means he's got an occupant. So I'm just going to discard this guy. Or if you wanted, and I'm not going to, I don't want to kill the little worm if he's in there eating, you could take that guy home and some of these dried out husks, soak them in water, and then put them in some tin foil on your grill and use them as kind of like a smoker, just like the hickory, or the hickory chips that you would buy at the store. It would work exactly the same, and it'll give your meat that nice hickory flavor. So anyway, but yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for. Right now, the holes are kind of this green with a little bit of the black speckles. You'd ideally want them more brown. It's a little early in the season. Most of these have fallen or the squirrels have been cutting and knocked them out. But again, I just kind of wanted you to know what to look for so you could get out and take advantage. Nothing wrong with taking these right now though. They're completely edible. As you can see, it's pretty effortless. I've only been picking a few minutes and I've already got several handfuls. Why it is that it gets its name for its shaggy bark. And this stuff right here will come off in like sections or flakes. A lot of times you'll find little pieces of it on the ground below it. One other use for this, and I haven't tried it, I'm thinking about it, is some folks take this and they boil it down in some like Kiro syrup or some sugar water and they make a hickory flavored syrup. Haven't tried that one. That's on my list to do though. But yeah, you can see why it gets its distinctive name. A very interesting tree. Quite lovely. And as for the leaves, hickories have, I think technically this is all the leaf. And then it has 5 leaflets. Let's find one that's in better shape. Yeah, see, it's got 2 smaller, a little bit larger, and 1 large leaf at the end. Most all hickories have this leaf pattern. It's just the shagbark. A lot of times their leaves are bigger and a little bit more like dorky looking and less sharp like the other hickories. But yeah, a little close up. And these turn a beautiful golden yellow in the fall. In true autumn, once the cold weather gets here, these will be bright yellow. So they'll be quite easy to distinguish. Okay, so I told you guys I would show you a quick way to sort these so you know which ones were good and which ones were bad. So I've just filled the sink with 4 inches of water, and I dumped dumped several handfuls of the nuts that I found in here. And you'll see that a lot of them have sunk to the bottom there, but several of them have floated to the top. Now the reason these are floating is there has to be air in there, a little air pocket, or maybe there's a worm in there who's created air pocket, or maybe the nut has dried and receded and it's no good, like this one right here. See, that nut is no good. It's brown and it's dried up, and you see that it's created an air pocket, and that'll allow for the nuts to float. So what I would do is just scooch all these little floaty ones aside, put them in your composter, or set them aside for like I said, to use on a barbecue grill or as a smoker to give them that nice hickory flavor. Just use it like you would use hickory chips. And these down here in the bottom, air dry these on the counter on a towel. So we're going to grab a floaty one. After you rinse your hickory nuts, let them drain off in the sink until they're almost dry. Then put them in a mesh bag. It doesn't have to be one exactly like this. This is a delicates bag that you would put your bra or underwear or socks, fancy socks or something like that in when you throw it in the wash so it doesn't get destroyed. You could use a potato bag, an onion sack, something like that, so long as it's mesh. Put these guys in it, and over the next couple days, just kind of jostle them around, flip them around, maybe hang them up so they get good air circulation, and they'll keep a long time. These nuts right here, 2 years old, and they're still completely edible. I'll crack one open in a minute and I'll show you. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you find any down in the comments, and as always, take care of yourselves. I hope to see you again next time.